Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Talia and happy holidays to you all. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how it does not feel like the holiday season. It's more like a whole bunch of childish, juvenile behavior going on amongst the drama channels and the conscious commentary channels and how people talk to each other on Twitter. At first, I wanted to actually do a Twitter comment one-on-one etiquette kind of situation because folks do not know how to speak to each other online, period. So I just wanted to, to go into it because I feel like right now it's the conscious versus the drama channels, and no one is able to take constructive criticism, and everybody's kind of going back and forth, and truly it's over dumb stuff and how people conduct themselves, because there's a simple solution to what we can do here is not entertain ignorance. But we're going to get into all that. So if you're interested in getting my thoughts and opinion, by all means stay tuned. There is a subscribe button that's located over here, so go ahead and click that. Alongside of it, it's a notification bell. You want to make sure that you click on both of them to make sure you don't miss another video from your girl. So they're right here. Click. At first, I wasn't gonna even address it because I feel like no one's gonna really listen. But the more I read on Twitter, the more videos that are being made over the drama channels being biased, and like it's just a whole lot of in how the drama channels are reacting to the channels who are more thought-provoking. I'm getting tired of reading it. I'm getting tired of the back and forth. Like, it's becoming a hot mess. So I figured let an adult step into the room and talk to you all. So I feel like there is a division amongst the drama channels and the commentary channels. And currently right now, and I could be wrong, but what I am witnessing, there is more of a conscious kind of community going on who are speaking out on things that are wrong and letting those who are making these mistakes aware of their wrongdoings. So then you have the drama channels who do a lot of the tea spilling, kind of, gossipy channels or whatever. And I feel like right now what I'm witnessing amongst the two, at least coming from the drama channel community, who are, I guess right now, being quote unquote the mean girls, they are coming off like that whole cat and dog kind of behavior. Let me piss on my territory and letting you guys know that you don't belong here. That's how it's coming across. Like, it's the conscious that are speaking out saying, hey, you're doing X, Y, and Z. And then you have the drama channels over here who are saying, hey, F off, and being disrespectful. And it's getting annoying. I'm not saying that everybody, one side is better than the other. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that y'all are doing the most. So when I started watching drama channels, there was only really one channel I was watching at that time, and that was Sanders Kennedy, who was basically just talking about Jeffree Star. And at that time, I didn't have an opinion on Jeffree Star one way or the other. I just liked what Sanders Kennedy was bringing to the table. And then it just kind of flourished into this whole community. Now, with that being said, right now, I just don't really care for anybody, truth be told, in the drama-like community other than Peter Mon, in that realm of people who kind of started it. And this is why. Their whole dynamic is starting to flip. Like, you're getting cocky, you're getting arrogant, and I'm not with it. Like, I'm not going to keep calling you out about how arrogant that you're becoming. I'm just not going to give you my time. And I keep saying this, or I have said it in my last commentary video. What you can do to those who you feel like, one, don't represent anything that you're talking about, they're like Estella says, they're no longer aligned with you. All you have to do is go away, unsubscribe, move along. Subscriptions don't mean anything, FYI. It's the time that you watch them. you clicking on their videos and the length of time you're spending watching their content. Don't give them either. Miracle. Problem solved. So what the drama channels are doing is like the pot calling the kettle black. At one point, you guys were able to be unbiased and hold people accountable for their behavior. Now that people are trying to hold you accountable for your behavior, again, it's like it diminishes accountability. What is it? Define it. And that's the part that I don't think that you guys are understanding. You were able to pull people's cards left and right. Hey, you are messing up, you're messing up, you're messing up. And now that you guys are doing exactly what you were talking about in the beginning when you guys were hungry and you guys didn't have any clout and y'all didn't have any followers, you expected that from the people that you called out. And now all of a sudden you don't know what that is and what you're supposed to do with it. What I don't like about bigger YouTubers is that when you guys clap back on the people who truly gave you their time, understand whatever following you have that because people decided to give you that time and energy. When you become disrespectful, when you start off with WTF in a sentence, you no longer have the ability to make a point. I am an advocate about, listen, there is this thing called a dictionary. You are able to form all types of sentences because there are billions of words that you could possibly use than to curse out the people who have supported you. If they're not a subscriber, if they click on your video, they are a supporter because you get some form of benefit when someone clicks on your video. Yes or no? So why do you have the right to curse people out and think that's okay? And I want to make it a point to not point people out specifically, because my mission in this video is not to sit here and belittle anyone, to diminish anyone's character or whatever, because I already made a decision for myself who I'm going to follow and who I am not going to follow. Continue to bring attention to the ignorance. You can call it out. Yes, I commend that. Call it out. But then when these people decide to be disrespectful, it's like, you know what? You can't reason with crazy. You can't keep going toe to toe if people do not see what you're talking about, who are not willing to listen to where you are coming from. It's pointless. You're constantly talking to the wall. It's not going anywhere. Constructive criticism should be able to be received on both ends. Let me know if there's something that I can do better, if there's something that I'm doing wrong. But again, it goes back to the delivery on how you're telling someone that they need to make a change. I don't know why people have the right to curse at you and expect for you to come back with, okay, I get what you're saying. What happened to respect? I feel like respect no longer exists. It is like people can shoot off the mouth and just say whatever it is they want, and then there's no respect. Why is it so difficult to say what you feel, mean what you say, and be respectful all at the same time? People can be assertive. I am. I could understand the satire. I get it. Comedy is a healing source. But when you're blatantly disrespecting people for doing the exact thing that you started to do, it's like, why do you feel like you're above being held accountable? I am going to say a name. And I wasn't going to say it at first because it's one thing that I decided for myself, that when I decided to make this channel, my whole mission too was, of course, to talk about makeup and to just do whatever I felt right to do. I never wanted to be the type of person to put down people of color, to kind of pick their channels apart or whatever the case is. Never, ever, ever wanted to do that. But then I would be a hypocrite not to call out what I am witnessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, I can speak on other people, but then I can't speak on a person because they are the same shade as me, same, race, ethnicity, or whatever the case is. If you're doing something that is to be questioned, your card should be pulled too. Petty Paige, this one is for you. I am a follower. Well, I don't follow nobody. I am on Twitter. I follow you. You follow me. I think it's one of them kind of, sympathy things. I think that you started following me early in your YouTube journey, because I was a subscriber to you before you even cracked 10,000. And the person that I was subscribed to then is no longer the person that you are now. I don't expect for you to be the poster child of all Black people, but when we as your subscribers see questionable behavior from your counterparts that offend us, we expect you to say something. Not that you can speak for all Black people, but we expect for you to say something. You did say you didn't like it, but I think that it doesn't hurt me, because I'm a grown woman, and I decided what I wanted to do with Rich Lux. I decided what I wanted to do when it comes down to all the other drama channels. But it's disappointing to see, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, one, I didn't watch the live that you did or whatever. It was, I saw a clip on another person's video on how you discussed the whole gorilla situation. And I have to be honest, I was like, for real? You don't care about nobody's feelings? The people that actually support you? Understood. Not a problem. For that, I'll walk that way. It's hurtful when you support people and you want to see them grow. And their thing. Now, granted, I know for a fact people said some ill stuff to you. I understand that people have been disrespectful. But the fact that people did look to you and expected for you to do more than you did, and you were just like, F your feelings. Yeah, that was mad foul. Can't say it no other way. It was foul. So I lost a lot of respect. I'm one person. I'm not telling anybody to not follow. I'm not telling anybody to not see your journey through. But your behavior has been suspect. Everybody else I could care less about. But there's one thing that you have that the others don't, is gift. You are very talented. You are very witty. And it's just like, the people that you're chilling with is questionable. Can't tell you what to do. You're a grown person. But don't dim your light, or don't sit here and put yourself on the cross while everybody's watching you doing it. And I feel like that's what's going to happen. You're sitting amongst everybody that allowed you to speak at this slumber party. And even when you started speaking, some kind of went this way, like, you know what, let me not get in the crossfire what she's about to say. You don't find that a little odd? Wish you the best of luck, but I have to say, this is where I tap out. When it comes to commenting, people should never go for the jugular. That is content creators and also subscribers, followers, however you want to categorize that people see your journey. Never go for someone's physical appearances. Like, what does that do for you? Where are the adults? Who still throws shots as it, like, oh, look at your cheekbones, look at your lips, oh, you're fat, oh, how old are you? Like, that is so, like, it's disappointing when you see people just targeting other folks' looks. Now, listen, have I ever said anything about someone based on how they look? Yep, I have. But there is a point where you grow up and you should be able to express yourself without targeting someone's appearance. Appearances you cannot change. Now, granted, some of you do the most with the lips and the whatever, but even if it looks a little odd, why would you publicly put it out there to show people? One, it doesn't look bad on the person. It could be embarrassing to them. Hopefully they're able to come through it, but it shows how childish you are if you aren't able to express yourself any other way than targeting someone's appearance. You should never go and discuss anyone's children and parenting styles. I don't know your life. You don't know my life. You don't know their lives. If you think that their children is unkept, whatever the case is, kids should never be a topic unless kids are being harmed. If kids If they look dirty, if they look like no one's taking care of them, they look hungry, they look sickly, whatever, that's one thing. You don't sit here, still, you don't take it onto social media. You contact the proper authorities and you address it there. Kids should never be a topic. Parenting styles should never be a topic. How I raised my children, I don't expect for you to raise them the same way, and vice versa. Why do people feel like they are allowed to talk about people's personal lives? Now, with that being said, for us who decide to put our faces on camera for whatever, and we expose a little bit of our lives, we are to know that we're opening ourselves up for scrutiny. We ought to know that people are going to be critical of every little thing we do. I only have 3,000 subs. Hell, I know that. So if I know that at 3,000 subs, why don't the hell y'all know that at 1, 2, 3,000, 300,000 subscribers? You already know this. So you have to kind of buffer the foolery yourself. You can't control what people say, but you can control what people see. Fair? Okay. I know that, I don't know, did I say this already? But I'm going to say it again because I don't know if my point was clear. Lord, this is when you turn 40, you can't remember your thoughts, Jesus. So I also have seen people having the issue with commentary channels, drama channels being biased. And we all kind of know in reference to who. And to the drama channels, do you guys not understand why people are saying this? You are entitled to do whatever it is that you want to do on your channel. It's exactly that. It is your channel. But when we initially subscribed to your channel because it appeared that you were unbiased and you were able to talk about people who are doing problematic things to no longer discussing problematic behavior from the person you had initially did videos on before. Do you understand where people start to lose their trust in you? Just understand that versus coming back to cursing people out because you don't want to see the truth. We all subscribe because you were one way. Now that you're not that way, we're like, hey, this is what we're witnessing, and this is why we're confronting you and letting you know, hey, you're acting a little different. And by some of us doing that is problematic, make that make sense. You can't base everything off of, and I'm just using these two for example, having James Charles and Jeffree Star doing problematic things, both of them equally, whatever the situation is, and then only speak on one out of the two. It's like, what happened to the other person? Why can they be spoken about? Why do you get to pick and choose who you talk about? They both did some ill stuff. Like, why aren't you speaking about it? This is why we go to you. This is why there's channels like you. I mean, I don't know. Like, I know for me, I like drama channels. I like what you guys bring to the table. I like the wittiness. Because I'm the type of person, I don't take a lot of stuff seriously. I love to laugh. But then when I see an attitude shift, like I feel like you are no longer you, the person that you came out was you. That's the person that we all fell in love with. And then you became, I don't know, you get a little bit of money in your pocket and you act a little different. People try to mistake arrogance for growth. That's not what that is. Arrogance and growth are not the same. I was watching a Hollywood Unlocked interview with Wendy Williams, and everybody knows who Wendy Williams is. So, you know, she's like the queen of hot topics and, you know, gossip and stuff like that. And what she mentioned in that interview is that she keeps it the same. Even if she's friends with an individual, she lets them know, hey, I'm going to talk about you. And they know her job. Say, I don't know Jason's last name, but the person who owns Hollywood Unlocked, he said the same thing too. Like, this is what I do. So for those who are being buddy-buddy with you because, I don't know, maybe they don't want you talking about them or whatever, but they should know your line of work. They should be understanding what your line of work is. And if not, then it should be a problem. That's it. They should be able to understand that you have a job to do. If you wouldn't have to talk about people if they didn't do problematic things. Like, don't be on the news then. If you don't want me talking about you, don't do dumb stuff for me to talk about you. Fair? And that's it. Like, that's a conversation that should be had. But I get it. It is uncomfortable because I do have my favorites. I have my biases. We all do. Let me tell you one of mine, okay? So then we can get a clear understanding, and then, we can kind of feel each other out. I'm not from the South, right? So when I moved to the South, people talked about chitlins. I didn't know what a chitlin was, especially being from a Latino, household. We don't eat chitlins, right? But people claim that they're good. I've never tasted it. Will never taste it. They have a smell to it. So therefore, if it smells like ass, it's not going in my mouth. Can't convince me otherwise. I don't want to try it. Never had it. Never had it a day in my life. So it's like, how do I know it's this bad if I don't taste it? Well, I guess I will never know. We all kind of stick to, we all have our things that we won't bend for. But if it comes down to your job, because this is how you're presenting yourself, we all kind of look at you to deliver the tea. And if you don't deliver it with an unbiased opinion, then it's kind of hard to, to kind of stick with you. You know what I mean? Racial insensitive behavior. I don't even know why I even feel like this is a topic to even discuss, but I'm seeing it more and more on Twitter, and not even just related into the whole drama channel situation. It's just as a whole, we are so divided by who we are individually that it's wrong. And there's some channels who have the heart to be like, listen, let me bring awareness to what's happening to the Black and brown communities. We also have people who truly believe in uniting us all. But there's such a divide. And when people put out racially insensitive comments and don't feel like it needs to be addressed appropriately, it's like, why do you want to align yourself with a person who is unwilling to recognize their bad behavior and are not willing to recognize how they have hurt an individual? It baffles me. I'm going to create a video on shedding some light on my top YouTubers of 2019 and who people should watch. But I definitely want to put a lot of thought into because I watched quite a few, and who I feel like is worth my time to look, because this is what I do. For the YouTubers that I really, really, really like, I don't have YouTube Red. So what I do, I will sit through an ad for you. I don't skip on the people that I really like. And so I might name it that. Something that has, I don't skip for you. Because there's some good content creators out there. And my prayer for the ones who are being attacked by the bigger YouTubers, just know that your journey is going to pay off. Stick to what you're doing and don't get caught up in the foolery, because you can see what happens when you get caught up with dumb stuff. Just know that you're on the right path. And I'm not saying that all the bigger YouTubers are bad people and they're not worth your time. I'm not saying that. I'm actually not really picking a side. It's that everybody should be able to express themselves without being belittled, demeaned, just unhuman-like. And I do want to shed light on the people who are really trying to make good content. Not everybody is not meant for everyone. You know what I'm saying? They're just not. But no one should be disrespected on any level. Just none. Mind your business if you don't want to see the person that you don't like. Do something else. I'm going to watch good tea spillers. I don't want to watch people who are blatantly disrespectful and have no regard to anyone's feelings. I'm kind of done with you at this point. If you don't care, then I don't care either, honey. I'll unsubscribe. Not a problem. And that's what you should do. Just unsubscribe. Leave these people alone and unsubscribe. And my only Twitter So for Twitter commenting one-on-one, I need the adults to enter the room. When you're on Twitter, you should be an adult. And I feel like right now, Twitter has a bunch of children on it. And I think Twitter needs to do something about it because none of you guys on Twitter know how to speak to each other. Speak to each other. Y'all go for each other's throats on there. And I'm just like, wait a minute. There needs to be an etiquette class for just this one social media app. The only tip that I have for Twitter is that you should not comment ill stuff to people if you're not able to regurgitate what you're typing to someone's actual face. There is a difference with getting a whole bunch of things off your chest when you type it. If you've ever gone through therapy or even taken a psychology course, journaling, getting things off your chest, writing stuff down is very therapeutic, right? But there's a difference when writing it down and when you're actually looking at a person's face and saying everything that you truly feel. It never really comes out the same. So if you're unable to repeat what you wrote to a person's face, then I will kind of draw back. And I say this never to ever be on no violent stuff, because you should be able to sit in front of whomever and be able to express yourself without the repercussion of something physical happening. But you have to be able to express yourself where the other person who was receiving it to not be offended. But the only way that I feel like people know how to communicate nowadays, especially on Twitter, is by being extremely ignorant and harsh. Again, if you start a sentence with WTF, oh, you be, or ho, or whatever the case is, or you start going for race, or oh, you with the big head, or you fat, nothing that you're trying to get across to me or whoever is going to be impactful. No one's listening. We couldn't get past the first few words. So then when people wonder why folks are coming for them, do a self-evaluation. Let me read this back to myself. When I am tweeting, because I talked about this before, I am very assertive. I demand a lot of respect. And even when I'm unclear about something, my whole demeanor can be misunderstood sometimes, just in real life. I haven't even shown you guys, or I haven't exhibited a lot of my true behavior because it's intimidating to talk to a camera. But I'm starting to get a little comfortable. But in real life, it's just kind of hard to draw back a little bit when you're passionate about something. But you have to do some self-reflection, reevaluate what you're doing, read back comments before you send it to see how it comes across. Translation is everything. How would that person receive it? Now, there's some people who don't care about how the other person feels. But then when you do that, when you put negative stuff out there or ignorant stuff out there, there is a repercussion to that. And this is going to everybody who is trying to build their channels, or any content creator, whether you have a YouTube channel, whether you're trying to be, this Twitter socialite or IG socialite. If you're trying to grow and build anything, you have to do some self-reflection. You have to buffer out how you're conducting yourself. Okay, so you have some brand deals or you have some sponsorships, and I'm going to keep it all the way a buck, and this is not discrediting the companies, but you kind of have to look at the companies who are sponsoring these people. Like, did you hear about them prior to YouTube? And that's being honest. Did you hear about them prior to YouTube? Major companies who really got the dough, they're going to be a little bit more selective on who they choose to represent them. So if you have the desire to be more than a channel, more than an IG page or whatever, Twitter, you may want to buffer out some of the things that you're doing and feel like, is it important for me to be an asshole? Or is it more beneficial to do what I came here to do and to fulfill my why, whatever that why is? It's not that deep, you guys. Like, for real. If you don't know people, it's never that deep to keep going back and forth. I commend those who are putting themselves out there to speak the truth and pulling people's cards. And for those who can't take it, then I advise you to not, to not do that to anybody else. If you can't handle the drama being brought to you, then honey, stop doing drama. That's it. That's all. Alrighty, guys, I'm done talking. I'm done talking. I just wanted to give you my point of view. Many blessings to everybody that I spoke about. If this was meant for you, I hope you were able to receive it from my point of view. If not, I'm pretty sure you'll let me know down in the comment section. If you like videos like this from me, please give it a thumbs up. If there is a topic that you would like for me to address, I'm not always on all the social media and stuff to know exactly what's going on. I'm never going to be in the mission to talk about other content creators unless they're doing something like truly problematic. But just topics in general, I definitely like talking, if you can't tell. And that's even with my makeup. Just let me know what topics you would like for me to discuss and let's talk, because I love doing it. And I just love to just be candid about things. Like, I'm not the most, I don't know, I'm not delicate flower over here, so I like talking and I like keeping it honest. What I want to do for real before I go, I definitely want to recap the season of Love and Hip Hop New York, because that's actually my favorite one, and I'm a Remy Ma fan. I'm not a fan of Chrissy Lampkin, but I love her vibe. I just feel like this is going to be a dope season. So if you're interested in having me recap this season, let me know down in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to connect with your girl on social media, you can find me on everything Talia's Eye Candy. That's on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. And if you want to follow my weight loss journey, you can follow me on Beauty from the Inside Out 365, and that is on my second IG page. And I will catch you all in the next one. Y'all be good to each other, because this is getting old. Llegó la mami que todo desespera, te deja boca abierta cuando esta negra llega. Whoa, no, they're trying to keep up, but they're just too slow. They think that